Okay, so you'll be relieved to know this is an incredibly quick presentation. And I'm here to talk about the benefits of the UCISA bursary scheme. So I was really pleased to see this morning a lot of new faces in the newcomers session, but I'm also really happy to see colleagues that I've worked with over the years on various publications that UCISA's put out. So one example is the Information Security Management Toolkit, another one, Secure Network Management, and the most recent one is the Privacy Impact Assessment Toolkit, which has a worked example for Office 365. So in terms of the bursary, could we have a quick show of hands? Who's heard of this scheme already? And then the second quick question is, who is from an institution where someone in your university or college has been on the bursary? Okay, okay, right, so that's interesting. So Matt invited me to come along just to just say a few words about the bursary, really. The basics are that it was set up in 2014. You can look at who are the people who are going on conferences this year, and it's the idea is that obviously we know that plenty of universities and colleges are pretty cash strapped in terms of their training budgets, and so people apply to us for any conference that they want to attend, and through an application process and a judging process, we look through all the applications and we choose the winners, and we pay for the registration, all the travel costs and the accommodation for the chosen conference that people have selected. And what do we ask for in return for this? Well, it's quite simple, really. We just ask that you tell people about what you've learned at the conference and that you share it with the sector. And so the second URL that's down there is lots of people have chosen to do blogs because they find that's perhaps a really effective way for them to reflect on what they've learnt. But we also encourage lots of other different ways. So some people prefer to do vlogs, they present their findings, that kind of thing. So it's a real mixture. So I had a quick look through and I tried to think of the kind of conferences that we've sent people, that people have chosen to go to rather, that would be of interest to this audience. And some of these will be, I'm sure, familiar to you. The 44Con conference actually is one that was happening just 2 weeks ago, and that's one of the largest sort of security conferences. And I had hoped to be joined by someone who had been to that conference, but unfortunately he couldn't join me for this presentation to, just to sort of reflect back on what he'd learnt and how he'd taken it back to his institution. We've sent quite a few people to EduCause. I mean, it's a great conference, very rich content, and I think people get a lot out of it. But we've also, people have also chosen to go to some of the smaller specialist conferences. So the Integrate one on BizTalk, for example. But what we're finding is that as much as we would like to get a really good spread of the various disciplines, we're not getting as many applications as we'd like from infrastructure colleagues, from networking colleagues, from InfoSec colleagues. And the whole reason for the scheme really is to encourage maybe more junior staff who haven't always had the opportunity, who don't get selected to go to conferences as much as they might do. So, it's my final slide. I'm around for the rest of the conference, so if you've got, I appreciate this is a very, very quick presentation. So if you've got any questions at all, we're running the scheme again for 2019. It will be open, I think, either December 18 or January 19. I'd just like to, encourage people to apply. This year we had 41 applicants, and of those, 21 people were awarded funding to go to the conference of their choice. So they're really good odds, and if you'd want to find out anything more, then just come and ask me. And that's it. It's a quick one.
Thanks, Anna. I just wanted to say a few words just to try and encourage people to, share, the bursary, the fact that the bursary scheme exists. I think at UCISA we do loads of good stuff for our members, but I think the bursary scheme is probably the single best thing that we do. I feel really passionately about it. Selfishly, I encouraged my own team back at Wolverhampton to apply for this year's scheme. Terribly disappointingly, none of them bothered. And the term that I used, and I've shared this with Anna, is, because I knew what the odds were, I said, it's free money. And I kind of got some revenge on them. So as soon as we announced the results for this year and who was going where, I shared that with the team. And I watched as one of my team opened up the email, and I saw them slump because they realised where they could have gone. We sent people to Orlando this year to Cisco Live. We went to all over the place. So at the beginning of the day, I set you all a challenge. Talk to 5 people, and you should have spoken to at least 2.5 people by now. So, but you get another challenge. What would make me really happy is, because I assessed some of the applicants this year, if we can get an increase in applicants from at least one application from every institution that's represented here today, that would be fantastic. Anna has given you the odds, whether it's you that apply, please encourage members of your team, but throughout your departments to apply. It's a fantastic scheme. The odds currently are still really good. Obviously, the more people apply, the odds aren't as good. But yeah, please apply for the 2019 scheme. And that is it now. I thought I might have been too scared to talk after Jamie's session, but I realise I'm now the only person between you and drinks in the exhibitor space. So with that, I'll hand back over to Joanna.